Golden was founded in 1881 by the Canadian Pacific Railway. Originally named Silver City in hopes that there would be a large mineral deposit discovered there. By 1884, Canadian Pacific Railway was laying tracks, and the town was renamed Golden. But Golden wasn't just another stop along the CPR rail line. Its location at the confluence of the mighty Kicking Horse River and the vast Columbia River made it a natural hub. The rail line brought the means to transport the rich timber from the surrounding forest, fueling a booming logging industry that defined much of Golden's early economy. And even in those early years, the CPR began to realize the immense potential of the breathtaking mountain scenery. They built grand hotels further down the line, drawing early tourists to marvel at the Grand Canadian Rockies. Golden, nestled right here, became a vital gateway, a service center, a jumping off point, if you will, for explorers and adventurers alike. From the humble beginnings of a logging railway town, Golden has continually evolved, adapting to the changing times while always retaining the deep connection to the land and the rivers that shaped it. It's a testament of resilience, innovation, and a vibrant community spirit. And that spirit of connection and forward thinking is perhaps the best symbolized by one of Golden's most distinctive landmarks today. Let's continue on with this one-wheel ride, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. My name is John, and this is the Wheeling Truckster. I didn't have my one wheel too long before I realized when you came on a dog, you slowed down and you let that dog check you out. Most dogs are okay, like this big old guy right here, he was totally sweet. But some dogs, no, they don't like that one wheel, and you got to make sure their owners have a hold of them before you take off. I've been one-wheeling through small towns in the States where people don't tie up their dogs, and they've seen me one-wheeling through town, and I've had them chasing me for blocks. It's not a very fun experience. But on the other hand, you get to realize how fast you can go on your one wheel and exactly what you're capable of. Golden is also known for the Kicking Horse Pedestrian Bridge. It's the longest freestanding timber frame bridge in Canada. It was built in 2001 by the Timber Framers Guild of North America with the help from volunteers from all over the world. It only took 24 days to build. I'm on it right now. What an amazing feat. The Rotary Club maintains the trail, maintains the bridge all year round, winter, summer, spring, and fall. And I just have to say, my hat is off to that club. They do an excellent job in maintaining this, and it's a great place to blow off some steam and to get your head right before you climb back behind the wheel again. And that's exactly what I needed today. Traffic was a madhouse. It was crazy out there, but that's okay. We got to Golden, and we have a couple hours to kill as usual. So out comes the one wheel. Well, let's go see what we can find. This summer's shaping up to be looking pretty good. We're gonna go on some amazing one-wheel rides. We're gonna meet some awesome people, and we're gonna see some beautiful scenery of southern BC. And we're gonna spend all summer traveling the southern BC highways. Or at least that was my train of thought. A couple days after this one-wheel ride, that kind of changed a little bit. When I got home on the weekend, Aiden wanted to go for a one-wheel ride, and well, what dad's not going to go one-wheeling with his son, especially when he's just about 20 years old, right? So I was like, heck yeah, I'll throw that down. Let's go, little buddy. So we jumped on that one wheel, and we took off. And granted, I know when I'm pushing my boundaries. I know when I'm not respecting the limits of the one wheel. And that day, I knew that I wasn't respecting them. But sometimes I get that attitude like, yo, I'm Johnny Gould. And most of the time, when I be thinking that, yeah, it comes back and bites me pretty hard. And on June 1st, Sunday morning, that attitude, it came back and it hit me pretty darn hard. As we're riding, we're doing our thing. Aiden's having a good time. I'm having a good time. We're setting the camera up. We're getting some good shots and we're making a video. That's when we realized we had dropped the water bottle out of the backpack.
That's okay. Have a great day, ma'am.
Aiden turned around, headed back for the water bottle, while I set up a camera and then continued to follow him and Arlo so that we could ride back together and get a good shot of a father-son out on a one wheel. As I rode after him, I was riding a little bit faster than I probably should have. I was getting pushed back, the board was yelling at me, the haptic buzz was kicking in, and well, the road was smooth, and I knew the road, so I really wasn't all that concerned. But what I forgot about was the root that was sticking up about 2.5 inches, a little bit further down and just around the corner. I had to be going about 29 kilometers an hour when I hit that little root. I went straight up in the air, and when I came back down, my feet were half on that one wheel, half off the one wheel. I thought to myself, Johnny, this is not going to end good. When I realized I wasn't going to be able to save it, I went to tuck and roll. As I went to jump off the board, it hit one more root and it threw me, and that's it. I went flailing through the air, trying to save myself, and as I went to pull my arm in, yeah, it didn't work. My right hand landed first, and I broke my wrist. Not realizing it at that time, and never having a broken bone before, I jumped back up, figuring I'd sprained it pretty well, and jumped back on my board and started riding. I only made it about 300-400 feet before I got pretty lightheaded. At that point in time, I realized I wasn't going to be able to ride my board anymore. I stopped my board, I sat down on my knees, and just kind of fell over. By then, Arlo had found Aiden. Aiden was back. Arlo came and sat by my head the entire time until my wife came and picked me up. After getting back to the house, we decided, well, probably best to go to the hospital. And I'm glad we did, because it ends up that I broke my wrist, and now I'm in a cast as I record this voiceover. I have 100% respect for the one wheel. It wasn't its fault. I disrespected it. It bit me, and that's the way it rolls. But that's okay. I've never had a broken bone before. First one in 42 years, and it's the first one in the family of 3 boys. So that's actually not too bad and a pretty good story. And I hope you enjoyed that story. If you did, hit that like button. Smash that subscribe. I'm sure there'll be lots of more stories like that in the future. Well, hopefully none of any more broken bones anyway. For the first couple days, it was pretty sore, and I haven't been on my one wheel yet. I couldn't help but wonder when they told me 6 to 8 weeks in the cast, well, what am I going to do, and how am I going to film on a one wheel, and what am I going to do for footage? Okay, that was actually the second thought. My first thought was, how the heck am I going to do my job in a cast? When I found out I couldn't drive that night because I was supposed to be at work Sunday night, I had texted my boss and let him know that I wasn't going to be able to make it to work. Told him what had happened, and told him I'd phone him in the morning. I wanted to go to work right away, but the doctor said that I couldn't because they put me to sleep, and therefore I was technically impaired and I wasn't allowed to drive for 24 hours. After they put me to sleep and they pulled on my arm real good and then put it in a cast and they woke me back up, he then told me that I couldn't drive for the following week and that I should make an appointment and go in on Friday. I didn't realize it then, but I think it was the morphine and all the other drugs that they had me on at that point in time. I figured I should be able to go to work on Tuesday. After the morphine and the drugs wore off, yeah, I can understand what the doctor's saying now, and I'm a little bit more clear-headed. I mean, they did give you some pretty good stuff in the hospital. But as of Friday, I've been cleared for work, and I can go back for light duty. So not all is lost, though I'll be slowed down, and I'll have a cast. The one-wheeling videos are still gonna come, because it's part of what makes my job so awesome. I've always had the one wheel on my adventures, don't get me wrong, But since I've started recording and sharing it with the people that truly enjoy it, I've actually found that it's changed the job altogether. I really don't have any time to think about the negative thoughts of the job. Yes, like I always say, the negative thoughts are there and the bad things are there, but the really good things are there too. And this, recording and sharing with everybody, it helps me focus on that and stay positive on a regular basis, even when I got a busted wrist. Those snow-capped mountains are absolutely beautiful. Golden is such an amazing place. I cannot wait to come back and ride here a little bit more. Coming up here, I kind of rest by a train bridge for a little bit, give my feet a break. Lately, I've been kind of thinking of doing my own voice for my shorts, kind of promoting my long form video on Saturday. A lot of the time as I drive down the road in the track I'll practice, I talk to myself. If that window could tell stories, holy cow, I wouldn't even have to try for content. Anyway, as I get to this spot by the river, no one's around and I set the camera up and I start recording the film for some shorts and a couple of other things. I take a quick look around, nobody's there, so I think to myself, what a great time to practice. I'm outside, it's a little bit brave, I'm outside the track, I'm working up the courage to talk in front of the camera to you good folks. Sounded like a completely logical idea to me, so I prepped myself up and I got all bolstered and I started talking to myself, practicing my voice out loud down by the river. Yeah, this is the spot here. Absolutely beautiful. Anyway, I got about 3 or 4 different variations of my voice out there and how I was going to do it. And see these rocks I'm rolling up to? Yeah, right here. And as I'm getting this shot right here, yeah, I'm doing 3 or 4 different variations of my voice, and I look up to my right and there's this lady on a bike staring at me, absolutely kind of amazed, wondering what the heck I was doing down there talking to my phone like that. Well, I have to admit, I've never really been busted like that talking to my phone, and I thought it was pretty embarrassing. So that's one thing I found out about myself on this ride. Another thing I found out about myself is when I'm embarrassed and you catch me red-handed like that, I talk a lot and I talk really, really fast. Anyway, I one-wheeled away from that experience, kind of thinking to myself and chuckling to myself, thinking, man, I got to work on that just a little bit. So I'm now talking a little bit more to the camera. I'm talking out in public, and I just don't care anymore if somebody sees me with my phone shoved in my face. I did happen to get my life story out in about 5 minutes, but I forgot to mention my name. So ma'am, if you're out there, my name is John, and it was my pleasure to meet you. If you've made it this far, I just want to throw out a special thanks. Let you know that I appreciate you. I think your smile's beautiful, and I think you should continue to share it with the world. It truly does make it a better place. And don't forget to share the love, spread the smile, and live the stoke every single day. If you liked today's video, I sure would appreciate it if you left a comment. Let us know where you're watching from. And until next week, keep the Onewheels charged and float on. Have a great week, everyone. Thanks for joining me.